Good day, everyone. Today, we'll be looking at my National Raiden and freeze Ayaka clearing the second phase of 2.3's Abyss in the background while talking about Arataki Itto. Now, originally, I had planned to make a dedicated Arataki Itto video where I was just going to go through his optimal rotations that I found to use and so on. However, as mostly my only access to him is in the trial run, and the enemies in the trial run just die in like literally 2 hits, that made it very difficult to test out any rotations. And so after spending about 45 minutes trying to test out a single one and failing, I kind of just ended up losing all motivation for making a dedicated Arataki Itto video, as if I cannot put out a useful video for anybody who is attempting to get him, then it's mostly just going to be a video about me talking about, well, in addition to what I do like about the character, the reasons why I'm not getting him. Now, talking about reasons for not getting him, the overall biggest one has absolutely nothing to do with Arataki Itto at all, but rather has to do with kind of a weird spot we are currently in the game, with Dendro being somewhere on the horizon. As we know, 1.7 was Inazuma, so we would imagine that Sumeru would be somewhere around that as well. Maybe 2.7, but also at the same time it could be, say, 2.8. But even if it was 2.8, just like Kazuha was added in 1.6 to introduce us to Inazuma, it's also possible that even if 2.8 is Sumeru, we could be introduced to the Dendro element via a character in 2.7. And as we have absolutely no idea what Dendro will do, I definitely want to make sure that I have at least enough Primo Gems to guarantee myself getting a Dendro character, outside of, say, the Traveler, of course. And in addition to that, being as we are probably going to be getting Yaimiko soonish, 2.5 perhaps, or so on, and I'm hoping that she would be a good character to pair with Raiden. There may be a Kazuha banner, which, seeing as Sucrose is the only good gather that I have, if I want a good gather on both sides, I probably should get him. And so, once again, with Dendro somewhere on the horizon, with Yaimiko, with Kazuha, rolling for Arataki Itto simply doesn't make that much sense unless I absolutely loved him. And the issue is simply that even though there are definitely parts of Arataki Itto that I enjoy, there's also parts to him that I just don't. Talking about his gameplay, it's pretty much a mixture of doing his normal attacks and his charged attacks, which, to be honest, I think is something I like better than just charged attacking all the time like you should do on Hu Tao, for example, if both are enjoyable to do. And for me, Arataki Itto's charge attacks are very pleasant, while his normal attacks are not. Even in his ultimate, his normal attacks still feel like Razor's normal attacks outside of his ultimate. And I only find Razor's normal attacks tolerable if he's in his ultimate. And this really feels like a shame because I feel like there's a solution to this within his kit, specifically that first talent of his, which increases the attack speed of consecutive charge attacks by 10%. If that could have just also been applied to his normal attacks, I feel like that would have made him feel far nicer to use, as then that last extremely laggy hit would have a 40% attack speed bonus just like Razor has during his ultimate. And I think that could have gone a long ways to making Arataki Itto feel like a nice to use character rather than really kinda slow, where you go between the nice chunky feeling charge attacks to these kind of just slow, not particularly nice normals. One other thing I did find to be rather annoying while using him in the trial run and testing him out was I really don't feel like the first and third hits generating superlative strength stacks being locked behind his ultimate was at all necessary. I mean, his ultimate already does a bunch of other stuff, taking basically all of his defense and adding that onto his attack and giving him Geo Infusion into his attacks. It wasn't necessary, I don't think, for superlative stacks to be locked behind this ability. I really would have preferred it to just be on the normal attacks, so that when you are not in his ultimate and want to get to max stacks for the next ultimate, you'd only have to do, like one attack combo and be good. Or if you end up in a situation where, say, like you only need 2 stacks, then outside of his ultimate, you still will have to do a full attack combo. because due to his dashes not resetting the combos, which is really nice. Generally speaking, it's really nice. I'd love a lot of other characters to have that. I do definitely like that. However, it does bring about the issue of that you cannot really effectively use it to restart your combo like you would, say, with Razor outside of his ultimate. And so, again, if you find yourself needing like 2 stacks outside of his ultimate, you either have to do another full attack combo or make use of Ushi, and I'm not sure if you really want to be using Ushi that much outside of his ultimate, but rather trying to maximize the stacks you can get during your ultimate duration. And this would probably be fine if he had like if he had bad uptime, but I mean he has like 11 seconds, and considering that his ultimate probably takes like 1.5 seconds to actually happen before you can start attacking with him, that probably means he's taking more along the lines of like 12.5 seconds of field time just during his ultimate. And so fitting in like 2 normal attack combos into that would add probably like another 6 seconds. And so if you're going for like a 20-second rotation, that means you only have like 1.5 seconds to get through everybody else's abilities, which just isn't enough. So I would have also liked to have seen just the superlative stacks just completely being on his normal attacks without the need of using his ultimate. So you could just go through 1 normal attack combo, be at max stacks, rotate through everybody else's buffs and abilities and so on and so forth, then throw out Ushi, use his ultimate, or vice versa, and then use those additional stacks from Ushi that you're gaining to charge attack for longer. But because this wasn't the case, it just felt annoying to me, and I'm sure that people will find a good ways to deal with this, or just a good optimal rotation for him to use, and it feels fine. But at least for a while I was using him in the trial run and trying some stuff out. His normal attacks, both from the superlative stacks gain outside of his ultimate, and then just using them in general, left a lot to be desired. Even though, again, I do really quite like his charge attacks, and I do really like that sprinting or using his elemental skill does not reset his normal attack combo. I definitely think that's really cool, even if it does have a slight downside. And so that's pretty much the reasons of why I personally just didn't really enjoy actually playing as him. And it's definitely just a personal opinion. It's nothing that's actually like bad or wrong about him. It's just stuff that I don't like. And so I'm sure many other people will have absolutely no issue with. And then of course there's also, stuff like his appearance. And in my personal opinion, it's very similar to his gameplay style, where it feels just sort of like a shame, like it could be good, but they just decided not to put enough effort into it or something. Because going into the trial run for the first time and you just see Itto from the back, I was like, dude, Itto looks really cool. And then you swap him around to the front and it just doesn't, like, it's not what you expected, or at least it's not what I expected. From the back, he looks like this big dude, and then you swap him around to the front and he kind of looks more like he's a not fully grown up Oni who's stolen his dad's clothing and doesn't quite fit in them. Because, again, look, and I know loads of people have pointed this out for probably a long time, about how the fact that his arms have no definition. And I think a lot of those people are probably comparing him to either what they wanted or to the character artwork. But for me, it's more so just with the model itself, because again, from the back, he looks like a big dude, and then you swap to the front and he's pretty scrawny. It's a very similar feeling I have towards Jean, where from the back, I feel like she just really looks like a sword saint from some sort of Final Fantasy game or something. Whereas then you flip her around to the front and she's just, to me, really boring. And even from the front, it's not like Arataki Itto is totally boring. I really like Oni. I like his horns. I like his eyeshadow or whatever that is. His eyebrows. There's definitely a lot to his character that I like, but they just didn't put enough effort into him. But yeah, so again, it's not like, I don't, hate him or think he's a horrible, awful character or something. He's just very much so not my cup of tea, and I can understand if he is other people's cup of tea. But anyway, since I wasn't going to end up making a dedicated video of him, I figured I should still at least give my reasons for why I am not pulling for him. And this is in no ways to dissuade you from pulling for him. It has nothing to do with even how good or bad of a character he will be. But yeah, so do let me know if you've pulled for Itto or if you haven't. If you have, what in particular did you pull him for? And have you been enjoying using him so far? And is there anything that you'd like of his to be better? If you didn't pull for him, what are the reasons that you didn't? Do you just not like him? Are you waiting for other characters? Or with anything else, as usual, let me know down in the comments. I would definitely be interested in hearing you guys' opinion. And so, thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you again next time, and hope you all have a great day.